Sorry, folks. I had to burp. I'm gross. But anyway, it's been a while since I actually talked about some comic, and I'm kind of in the mood for it, actually. I'm really in the mood to talk some comics. You know, and I feel these comics are actually worth talking about, too. So I'm actually really strangely in the mood. It's weird. But, you know, perfectly honest, I've been a little more energetic than I should be. As those of you who know will get what I'm saying. I acknowledge it. I see it. I acknowledge it. I know it's there. So I'm just going to try to take things slow and just keep an eye on it. I actually talked about some comic and sorry folks. Alrighty, I'm gonna have to multitask because I'm talking to a few people about doing the short film thing that I want to do as well. But anyway, get out of the way, you stupid thing. Out of the way. Anyway, let's talk about books that I wasn't planning on buying but just came out to win. That's Marvel number 4, probably on number 5 by now. I am so behind on things. Not even funny. Well, what I thought about it, I enjoyed it. It was good. I mean, it has a certain charm to it, you know. And this is actually a book that you can actually read to your little kids. You and your kids can actually enjoy this. I know that sounds wrong, but that's really the truth. You can actually kind of enjoy this stuff with a kid. That never happens. Ever. Ever. But anyway, we're talking about the short film and kind of work out logistics, folks. The city is but anyway, what happens is we leave off with the last issue. I didn't reach the last issue, but she has been shot trying to stop a burglary. And pretty much this guy is freaking out because he thinks Miss Marvel has been shot. But she morphs back to herself and she realizes it's her friend Kamala. Love that name, Kamala, mainly because it reminds me of the wrestler. But anywho, so she transforms back and she realizes that she kind of heals herself. And when she tries to transform, she doesn't. And so this is her friend, and so she kind of just trapped this bomb in him. And this guy he's trying to figure this out, like, okay, what's going on, what's happening, like, oh God. And that whole scene is just fantastically done. You know, you're just teenagers trying to figure a normal life and trying to figure out what exactly is going on with her, and she doesn't know. And pretty much, she heals herself fine, and the cops come. She grows big, and she says, "I'm Miss Marvel," and the cops aren't buying it. But she turns big, and they manage to go, okay, fine, whatever. And she even puts on this lame disguise. And then she goes home. She goes home, and they kind of talk things out, and she said that it's someone who shot her. She knows who it is. And pretty much she's trying to come up with a plan to kind of save him, you know? And she starts making the costume, and her mother is, like, really strict and trying to ground her. And pretty much she makes a makeshift costume, if you will, which is this thing. You know, minus the Thunderbolt with a fanny pack. And when I saw the costume thing, I just laughed. It's not that it was ridiculous, it just reminds me of Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider. You know, because Ben Reilly just literally made a makeshift costume. He literally just at the last minute just made a costume just out of necessity. You know, he got a freaking hoodie from like the New York Museum and painted the spider on it. So, you know, and it's kind of similar. She just made it out of necessity, out of random things. It's hilarious. You know, it's charming. And she goes confronts them. She knocks out the 2 people that are guarding the place. She confronts a bunch of robots and just using her powers to stretch and grow and destroy them as well. And she comes out to the end, which pretty much is this guy. And for her, this is probably a really bad villain because this is her first time ever crime fighting. But I did a horrible job reviewing it, but it's a good book. It's really charming. It has a great deal of charm to it. It's just, you know, the character is very lovable. All the supporting characters are lovable, and it's almost like reminds me of a throwback to like old Spider-Man, the old amazing Spider-Man stuff from back in the '60s. Only she's not a nerd, but she's just a high school kid trying to figure things out, and now she has new powers she has to figure out. It's something. It's just a great book. I strongly suggest pick it up, and I blame you, you damn comic community, for making me pick it up. And now I probably will be picking it up weekly. I still would like this because I am on budget cutback. But yeah, there was that. Now I had to text some people. Detroit. There we go. Next one I picked up because I thought it was interesting was Suicide Squad, the new Suicide Squad. Now I picked it up because I did this podcast, Heavy Blinkers, with the other four guys. You could watch it over on Clever Presents channel. I did this podcast, and they were talking about the Suicide Squad, and they revealed the lineup with Harley Quinn, Deathstroke, the Joker's daughter, Black. They revealed it, and I was really intrigued and I was like, you know what? I like these characters. Let me see what he has to offer. And pretty much, this is how it opens up. Oh, and this is how it opens up, like this. And pretty much, you already see tension in the group, and they're discussing this new team. He's discussing this new team with, I don't know, Mr. Sage, some guy, maybe it's the president, I don't know. He's discussing this new team and who he added. He got rid of some people and he added some people. He added Deathstroke. He added the Joker's daughter, and I think he added Black Manta. And they're discussing his group, and he pretty much, the guy saying, he's like, well, wait a minute, what? You got the Joker's daughter, isn't that a little redundant? I mean, you have Harley Quinn, and he's like, you got Deathstroke, isn't that redundant? You have, God, I can't remember this dude. I can't remember that guy, Deadshot or something. And he's like, is that a little redundant? I mean, they're just essentially the same people. And he tells him competition is a good thing. And he tells them competition is a good, excuse me 1 minute. There we go. He tells them competition is a good thing. That it's meant to do them. And pretty much they're on this mission to Russia to kind of teach them a lesson, so to speak. And here's Amanda Waller. I wish she was fat again. Maybe this will be the new Amanda Waller. But anywho, she's really concerned about the team, like really, really concerned, like it's gonna fail. And it's just already tensions in the group. Here's Harley Quinn. She goes to try and attack the Joker's daughter, and she goes to try and kill her. And the Joker's daughter is baiting her on. He's like, and we know. Duella Dent. She's baiting her on. She's like, you're jealous because the Joker chose me. And Harley Quinn's like, what? No, you just found a damn ass, put it on, and started calling herself the Joker's daughter. And then Deathstroke put the gun in her mouth. It's like, we're finished here. It was done. And and then Black Manta is trying to separate them and everything. And so you already got this tension in this group that's probably going to lead to really good stories. And I really, really am interested to see Harley Quinn and Joker's daughter, see what's going to happen there. And the same thing was this Deathstroke, and I can't even remember his name. This dude, don't know his name. But yeah, and pretty much they're agreeing. What are they gonna do exactly? Deathstroke's gonna, sniper people. Joker's daughter, Harley Quinn, Black Manta, they're gonna just go in there and, destroy the place. And pretty much this guy, Deadshot, he's actually kind of arguing with Deathstroke that, I should be the sniper, and they're like, no. Deathstroke's like, no, I am. I'm the best. And so you got tension there too, tension between two groups already. It's really interesting, And Amanda Waller is talking to this new guy, Mr. Sage, and he's just like, what are you doing here? You're screwing up. It's like, no, we're not. And so they start their little infiltration of this business. They're Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and they're just pretty much the rest of the issue. They're just destroying this place. They're Joker's daughter right here. You got Harley Quinn in the background. Look at that. So they're all they're crazy bastards, but they're just attacking like crazy. And everything looks like it's gonna go okay. Everything looks like it's going fine. Their mission's going good so far. And but then, of course, there is a twist. Deathstroke's like, oh crap, what's going on? He jumps from his position, and at the end of the issue, you got these guys, some stereotypical. I hear the ice cream truck. Sorry, but there's some stereotypical guys that are dressed in this like no-name villains, like ready to take them on. They're like, okay, that's gonna be a problem, and that's Suicide Squad. I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely picking another issue up. It was really interesting. It's very interesting. I'm very intrigued with these characters. I mean, build, they really laid a good foundation for this issue. For our first issue, it was pretty good, and they laid a good foundation. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with Harley Quinn and Joker's daughter. That's going to be interesting. Deathstroke and Deadshot's going to be really interesting. I mean, for God's sake, look, they're in chains for these new members. I'm really interested to see how this team's going to work out. So it's really interesting. So I definitely would check this out. Oh, now I have to text some more. Scarlet Spider is a clone. There we go. Now the next one, Batgirl. And as we know, Gail Simone is leaving after the story arc, which sad story. But at the same time, I could kind of see why. Because apparently, she didn't want the Batgirl to be all grim, and there were some creative differences. And I would have to agree with that too. It looks like their mood's gonna lighten up with a new creative team, and I kind of agree with that. There's not. Ever since I started reading it, there hasn't been one time where I was just like, that's a light issue. No, not once. I mean, this Batgirl has been really grim. Like there's not one time that I remember saying that was a funny issue. That was fun. It's just been grim ever since probably its inception. And so maybe this new creative team and what it looks like to be somewhat of a lighter tone, maybe that a nice change of pace may do this book a little better. Maybe that's what this needs to kind of give it a little fresh take. But anyway, about the issue, this is what we start off with. Huntress beating Batgirl beating the crap out of Huntress, and pretty much, Canary stops her. She's like, she didn't try to defend herself. Ugh, bloody hell. She doesn't try to defend herself, and Black Canary convinces her to stop. And pretty much, Batgirl doesn't trust her and questions, and they're like, reveal me your identity. She's like, fine, I'll show you yours if I show you mine. I'll show you mine if I show you yours. Blah. And Black Canary was like, okay, let's give her a chance. Batgirl was apprehensive, of course, and then they decide to team up, and you know how it goes. They fight, they argue, they don't trust each other, and bam, they come back and they decide to team up. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. That I enjoyed the issue, but it just felt really rushed. It's like really rushed. Typically, it takes at least an issue for that to fight and then come together, but it just felt really rushed. I'm like, And then she goes to talk to her friend, to try to get some more information, and bam, this is where they find everyone. What's this guy's name? Michael. There we go. And then, Nightfall's telling her the plan and everything, and pretty much they decide to confront him, and they try to infiltrate it. They alert Michael. Then they have this little tiny battle, pretty much, and he melts the car. They're trying not to get caught, but it's too late by now. And pretty much, Huntress does one thing, which was like kind of essentially a suicide dive. It's a wrestling move, not that she means she's suicidal, but she throws them into this car and just smashes them into there. And they won't leave me alone, folks. They keep texting me about this film. It's annoying sometimes. But anyway, they keep talking about, they try to question him, and they actually run to the girl. This was the only funny part. She's like, I didn't see anything, scared. And they kidnapped him, and they pretty much hooked him onto a crane right there. And, of course, they're trying to get to him, and he's not revealing any information. And so pretty much, Batgirl is trying to talk some sense into him, using her compassion. And Huntress is saying, no, I know a way. And she's like, no, she's good at this. And just when he looks like he's about to crack, that's where Nightfall reveals sends her crew to come and, prevent him. And instead, they're fighting. They're doing really good. but she actually goes to assassinate Michael, not to assassinate the superhero heroine. And pretty much he finally decides to tell what's going to happen. And it's really interesting. So the plan is she's going to get a bunch of hired assassins and hitmen, and she's going to off every one of the criminals, villains, whatever in the city unless they leave. That's her plan. And so pretty much she contacts everyone she knows, Batgirl. She contacts Detective McKenna. She contacts this girl. I don't know who the hell this girl with wings. She contacts this one, remember, this random girl who said, offered her a way into the secret super organization, and maybe that's what's going to cause a change of the pace of the book. Maybe that may be it. That's what I think it is. And then she calls Batman at the end to get his borrow his boat, and that was his issue. Like I said, I liked it, but I read better issues of Batgirl, to be perfectly honest. I liked it, but again, I read better issues. I read better issues than this, and I think the reason because it's not as good as the other issues is because Gail Simone's leaving after this story arc, and I guess it feels like she's just trying to cram everything into this, just rush everything and try to get this payoff, because Nightfall is pretty much Batgirl's arch villain. She's Batgirl's Joker, and it looks like she's just trying to have this big payoff at the end, and bam, trying to rush it. Where if she probably had more time in this book, it probably wouldn't feel that way. So it was good, but it was really rushed. I thought it's disappointed in that way. And like you said about the creative team coming, I mean, it looks like it's going to be lighter, and maybe that's kind of what the book maybe needs, just a little bit of more lighter tone. That would be kind of nice, but yeah. So that was that book. Now I shall... There we go. There's another burp. And the next one was Justice League 3000. Again, I mean, I like this book. It's so good, but I will say I'm afraid that they're starting to paint themselves into a corner with this book. That they're really starting to put themselves into a corner, paint themselves and write themselves into a corner, and they're not going to be able to get out of it. I'm really concerned about that. It was good, but I'm just worried now. But anywho, of course, one of the Wonder Twins pretty much turned his back. He killed his own sister. He turned his back on everyone, and he's got some Justice League imprisoned. He's got them. He had implants in her head that's going to explode. And he's trying to convince Ariel Masters pretty much to join him. And not only that, but we also have this guy, Firestorm. And Firestorm's a dick. I'm just going to say that. He's a dick. He's looking out for himself. He doesn't care. He pretty much told him that he doesn't care, and that he's looking out for number one. He's talking about himself, and he's just gonna run a few missions for them and then live his own life. And then he just darts off. So he's a dick. It's established. And he pretty much turned his back on the Justice League just so he can have that, thinking of himself. So they kidnapped the Justice League and everything, and that was it. And Ariel Masters decides to fine, you know what? I'll work for you, fine. He's pressuring. I mean, this guy, the Wonder Twin, he's pressuring her. He's like, fine, I'll do it. And finally, she's like, all right, I'll agree, whatever. Meanwhile, this lunatic Locust is pretty much, she's going through these entire DNA banks, and she wants Ariel Masters. She wants to whip up a whole new batch of Hal Jordans that are going to worship her at her feet. She's mentally unstable, and she's just roaming through. She's destroying everything, and so she looks like she's going to be the linchpin of the group. And I think she may even possibly join the Justice League or something. I know she's like the loose cannon of the five, and I feel that this Locust is gonna turn her back on them. I just, some reason, something's telling me that's gonna happen. But anyway, leave me alone, folks. Leave me alone. Don't you see I'm trying to do a video? And pretty much, it's hilarious, but Green Lantern is discussing, Batman. And usually Batman's the one to give the pep talk. This is for justice. But Green Lantern's the one who pep talks Batman. Like, we got to stop this. We're better than this. Batman's really apprehensive and negative. And he's really turning out to be like a leader. Like, we can do this. Let's break out. Let's stop them. And Green Lantern just kind of rallies the troops of the rest of the Justice League. And, of course, Wonder Woman's really angry. She's like, you know what? If you're not going to break out, I'll break out. And pretty much, the Green Lantern kind of gives a smirk. He's like, I know a way. I already am doing it. And he explained that his power somehow morphed. His little Green Lantern power somehow morphed, and he could infiltrate into the electronical system and pretty much have them see all the five, have them see what he wants them to see. And it's pretty hilarious because he wants them to see Batman and Superman arguing about the pace that they're getting served for dinner. And that's what they're arguing about. And then they actually start arguing about it in real life. Superman's like, it's pretty good. He's like, it's protein paste. It's not supposed to be. It's not real. And he's like, it's still pretty good. And they're both of them start arguing for real, Batman and Superman. It's freaking hilarious. And then Green Lantern's like, can you stop this? Let's get to the point. So it looks like he might actually start becoming the leader of the group. It's hilarious. And so Ariel has access to all the DNA banks as well. She's pulling it through. And then Batman is kind of talking, we're broken out, we have a way, and maybe you can start cloning. She's like, there is no way to perfect the cloning. We can't do it. There's no way. And he's like, he's monitoring me, and blah, 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 blah. And pretty much she decides she's doing something, and she takes an action that, didn't see coming. And if you see this, then you will know what she does. She manages to clone someone, and Batman's like, no, please don't tell me you did this, because, as you know, it's not exactly cloning. She takes a volunteer, and she pretty much inserts the DNA of these other people, and DNA erases the other person's DNA, essentially erasing that person, and the other person takes place. That's how the Justice League thing. Batman's DNA went to someone's body, erased that other person's DNA, and he became Batman. So they essentially kind of killed the person. And pretty much she ends up cloning his sister that he killed. And she's not aware of this. And, she's asking all these questions, but of course Ariel's not telling her anything. She's like, we have to work fast. And at the end of the issue, we'll get this. She not only cloned her, but she made her the Flash. She gave her the Flash's power, and that's how the issue ends. So I'm really curious to see what the next issue is going to go. Like I said, though, I'm concerned that the Flash dying is going to be like a recurring joke, like, oh my God, they killed Kenny. Oh my God, they killed Kenny, like in South Park. So I'm really concerned about that. And I'm concerned that they're pinning themselves into a corner. They're writing themselves into a corner, and I'm really concerned about that. I am enjoying it, but I'm kind of starting to get concerned a little. I'm starting to get a little concerned about that, and so, I'm getting a little concerned. But it was a good issue. I mean, I'm wondering how she's gonna factor into the team. I'm wondering what they're gonna do. And Green Lantern really starting to step it up, and his powers seem to be growing and growing. I wonder if they're gonna find, I'm wondering if they're gonna find a cure for him. What she's gonna do? Is the team how the team gonna function? Then you have this loose end Firestorm. They might have to confront him somewhere down the line. So they did a good job of moving the plot forward, but also laid some seed for future stories as well. So it was well done. Definitely a good issue. Now, there was only 4 books, and it took forever to review them or give my thoughts on them. But, alrighty. Now, I might have to respond to some more. I will respond to this text again. Tomorrow. Sometimes I hate this phone because my fingers are too big. There we go. And so anyway, let me go back and recap the book that I did. Miss Marvel picked it up. It's really good, folks. It's very charming. It's really innocent. It's not a lot of gratuitous violence, not a lot of snout sex. It's just a really well-written story. And I think everybody in this comic YouTube place thing will tell you it's definitely pick it up. It is really good. So that's that. Suicide Squad. It's very interesting. It was a good first issue. For a first issue, it's pretty good. It's really interesting. It's just really interesting. It's just a lot of, there's a lot of stuff that could happen, that cannot happen. And I like this issue. I would suggest giving it a shot, just to see, just to feel it out. I was definitely it's worth that at least, or maybe whatever. It's worth that, just feeling it out a little bit and see if you like it. But it's definitely worth just reading it to see if you like it. But I enjoyed it, and I'm reading the next one. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it, and he keep even. But anywho, we also got Justice League 3000. I just said it. It's good. You should be reading this. You should check it out. It's just something different, something new, something different. It has humor. It has action. It has really good storytelling. Check this out. And Batgirl. I have mixed feelings on this. I'm reading it and I'm continuing reading it because I enjoy it. But like I said, I think maybe you should just wait for the final issue of Gail Simone. I can't really say to go check this out. I would say wait till the last issue of Gail Simone's run and read that because it just feels rushed for me. And so yeah, wait till the last issue and maybe pick up the issue after that to see where it's going. But I cannot say go pick this up, check it out. I don't like it, but not as much as I should or I normally would. But yeah, so that's the Batgirl issues. Now I'm going to answer this and then go into a personal vlog. Hate more. And the alrighty. It's such a good live hangout. I text when I do this. I don't care. But anyway, here's my live vlog stuff. Anywho, like I said, for the past 3 days out there, I've been feeling a lot more, my mood's been more elevated than it should. And like I said, I recognize it, I see it, I acknowledge it, and I just had to keep tabs on that. I mean, because trust me, right now I feel like running around like a crazy person. I really am struggling not to try and talk really, really fast, but I am talking my way fine. So yeah, I've been kind of elevated a little bit, but to be fair, I was a little mildly depressed a few days before this. So it's not a perfect system. This is what I take. It's not a perfect system, but it helps manage things significantly well. It manages things well. It keeps things a lot more mild and bearable. So that's a good thing. So that's the bipolar disorder update. In fact, things are good. Things have been good. They've been good. I just have like this feeling like just looked up and things are good. That's just the truth of it. Additionally, I'm starting pharmacy school in like almost under a month, 4 weeks, about 4 weeks, and oh man, it's exciting, but it's also nerve-wracking. I'm excited because I'm essentially starting a whole new chapter in my life, in my life, starting on my journey toward a career. So I'm excited for that, but I'm excited that I actually get to meet new people. And it's going to be significantly easier to do that when I'm not horribly depressed or, this high. And I may be socially awkward, but I decided, I'm socially awkward. I don't get things. I'm just going to throw myself into things. Whatever happens, happens. So that's has been my approach to things now. And it's been going better than I thought it would, but it's going well. Damn it, I jumped from a topic. See, that's one of the symptoms when I jump from a topic. And I'm kind of nervous from pharmacy school because of the work and the hours I'm going to have to put into it. And it's nerve-wracking that I'm scared of what happens if I fail. Well, if I fail, then you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go to a nursing program if I fail. That's going to be plan B. So that's plan B. It's good to have those plans. I'll probably have to take a few more classes just to catch up again, but whatever, I'll do it. I'll do that if it had to, you know. So that's that. It's really nerve-wracking. And channel updates. Well, what's coming up? Let's see. I did this reviews. I mean, I just had the urge to do these reviews. I just had the urge. So that I just thought they were worth talking about. Just like, I haven't done this in a while. Let me do it. But other than that, not a. I mean, let's see. What's coming up? My movie, my little short film that I made a trailer for. It's like the end, the trailer. That movie is definitely coming up soon. In August. It's coming up, so that's going to be coming out soon. Oh, and I also released a video called with the Cha-Cha slide. So I went to something called the Fantasy Ball, which was towards the end of Anime Midwest, and I had my fun there. I uploaded it, and you could see me doing the Cha-Cha slide in Scarlet Spider outfit. It's embarrassing, hilarious, and awesome at the same time. I just wish I could have stayed longer, but I had to work the next day, and we got home, and when I was at work for the next 2 days, working the 12 hours, oh my God, I was dead. But, so that's coming up. I have maybe one or two more bipolar vlogs that I have in mind. One of them is going to cover the topic of suicide, because I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I have been suicidal, and I'll go more into that into the video. So that's going to be another video that I'm going to do. Comic book wise, I don't see anything. Maybe another review, maybe another comic book docs, because I'm pretty sure I'll have at least these three in the beginning months of August. So maybe another one of those. But other than that, there's not a whole lot else that I'm gonna say that I can really do or have available that I'm gonna do. To be perfectly honest, it's short film, this, and then maybe another one of these by pulling up that. That's really it. There's not a whole lot I really have to do, and maybe I'll do a toy vlog or a toy thing, because I did get this guy, the Dragon Zord. Pretty badass. Maybe I'll do a video on this. It's pretty badass, and I'll show all the transformations I can make. Maybe I'll do something like that, and even in comics that interest you. But also, I am doing this. I am doing another video with this guy, the Scarlet Spider. I am doing another video with this. Oh, and I also improved visibility with this too. So I'm happy about that. And I'm debating whether or not, I was thinking about going to Wizard World, but I nixed that idea. That's another con of screw that. I'll just wait for C2E2 because it's not a lot more inexpensive. And so I am going to do another video with this guy right here. I actually, in fact, my Avengers lunchbox, folks. Sometimes I actually take this to work, But here it is. I wrote the script for that already. Look at that. Front and half of the back. I wrote that already. I wrote all that in probably 2 hours, maybe sooner. And I'm a little hypermanic when I write. I knew I was a little hypermanic when I wrote that. So I just been writing that, jogging, trying to dispel all this energy that I have. But it will be another video with this guy, and it's going to be called The Exile Returns. So I want to get that filmed, because when I get to pharmacy school, not happening. So that's another thing that's going to happen. But since I'm going to pharmacy school, folks, my videos are going to be very sporadic, to say the least. It's going to be very sporadic. And not only is it going to be very sporadic, if I even do videos, it's going to be one of those. If I even do videos, because it's going to be very sporadic, and I might not even make a video during the semester. I might just, seriously, folks, I might literally disappear off the face of the earth. I mean, it could go either way. It could be sporadic videos, sporadic activity on Twitter, or maybe, it could be that, or it could be just me disappearing off the face of the earth. I don't know. I don't know how this first semester is going to go. So it could be either or. Sporadic appearances, bam, I disappear. You guys really don't hear from me a whole lot, if at all. So I'm sorry, folks, but I kind of want to be successful and have a career that I like and make a decent amount of living and at least be able to be comfortable. I don't need to make a great living. I just want to make a living to the point. I just want to make a living where I'm make enough money to where I'm just comfortable. I don't need a fancy car or a cable television. Just want to be comfortable. But like I said, I don't know. Sporadic appearances off the face of the earth. It all depends how the semester's going to go. If I could help it, I would, but that's just the way it's got to be. So that's that. I mean, people miss my videos. Sorry, but I had to take care of real life stuff. I mean, I'm glad I didn't take any classes this. I didn't need any classes. I'm glad I didn't take any classes this winter because I wanted to get this whole bipolar disorder and this whole issues that I was dealing with nipped in the bud, and I feel like I've really taken a gigantic step with that. And things are good, and that's good. But yeah, that's the channel update. So, sorry, folks, but, I'm sorry, I know it's disappointing, but what else can I do? But yeah, that's channel updates. Thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you later. If I'm not working, if I'm not, and I also want to apologize because I haven't been watching a whole lot of videos. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I've been watching, not watching, I've been working pretty much full time. I've been picking up hours. I've been going to therapy sessions. I've also actually been going to a group, to at least one group, at least bi-weekly group section or support group or whatever, just getting a feel for that. I've been working out really well, as you can tell. I've been jogging a lot. I've been doing a lot of outdoor activities. And I actually even went on a date last week. I know, it shocked me too. I wasn't feeling it though, but so yeah, I've been busy. I really haven't been watching videos, so sorry folks, but it's my life. It's real life stuff, and I'm taking a right step in the direction. So anyway, thanks for watching.